Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, and I'm back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Can Summon the Vision Heroes. This is part 2, and I'm back with another part of this What If, and thanks for the support. Personally, I am 100% aware that this isn't going to get a lot of traction, but I know it's going to be one of my favorites on this channel. So, let's just get into it. A little bit of a short recap. In the world of MHA, Izuku Midoriya lives his life as always, treated and belittled by everybody because of him being quirkless after all. On one day when he goes out to the woods, he soon sees that of a mysterious ring in the shape of a lion. For some reason, it feels like the ring was calling to him, but didn't think much about it until even one day back at Aldera Junior High, as Bakugo was basically bullying Izuku over and over again, 5 mysterious figures appear in front of Izuku, as these are the heroes from many nations of the Arja continent, as 2 of them being brothers, princes of the Kingdom of Leonis, an assassin monk / spy from the Kingdom of Horn, a Valkyrie woman with that from also the Kingdom of Leonis, and a young woman with that of a brash, arrogant, and also somewhat cold personality from the Kingdom of Venice, as these are the warriors that Izuku can summon, as they would protect and serve him as long as he wears the ring. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? A month has now passed. A month since Izuku has been able to summon the visions from the Ring of Leonis. Learning this ring, he's learned that this ring allows him to summon any person that is tied to the continent of Argus in the realm of Lapis at that. So basically over hundreds, nay, possibly thousands of ancient and great heroes, villains, assassins, and who knows what are now under his control. However, he can't just, bring them out whenever he wants. Turns out, the ring is tied to that of an ancient grimoire. This grimoire basically records and stores all those that the ring has come in contact with, and records from their beginning to end, making them a perfect copy of that person when summoned as that of a vision. At first, when Izuku read about this inside of the book, he actually thought that he was basically, forcing those who became visions as that of slavery, forcing them to do things that they don't want to, and began thinking of them as that of regular people. Until one day, Mont spoke up alongside that of Stern, with then Mont saying, "It's understandable to think like that, Izuku," as Izuku was doing all of this while still in his room, as at his desk, while Stern basically stands up, basically leaning on his wall while looking around, seeing all of the All Might posters and memorabilia, realizing that Izuku seems to respect the man that are displayed all over on these posters, with then Mont taking a seat on his bed, as then placing his hands together, saying, "But you don't have to feel like you're basically forcing us to do things we don't want to do. It's all right." With then Izuku saying, "But it just doesn't seem right. I mean, even though you're visions, this book basically copies who you are from the very beginning to end. Basically, you exist as who you are. Even if you're not the real person who you were, you're still people." Within, Stern couldn't help but sigh before smiling, saying, "You have a kind heart, Izuku Midoriya. But it's that kindness that may basically force you to not even have many of us to serve you properly. You can give us orders. We won't be able to deny those orders. However, Our respect for you as our commander will be nothing but non-existent. We would basically be serving somebody that has no backbone, no reason to rule, to lead. Within, Izuku looking down, as Mont couldn't help but sigh looking at his younger twin brother, before then saying, but that's not a bad thing, Izuku. Within, Izuku looking at Mont saying, some say I was naive for being too kind, for being too trusting, for being too caring. However, it's because of who I am that I became a great king that everybody either respects or fears. I won't lie, it's not easy holding on to that ring. Honestly, it's one of the most it was considered to be one of the most powerful ancient relics of all time. Even so, there was still one ring that was equal to the Ring of Leonis, the Ring of Rudel, wielded by its great king sage, Jaden. Honestly, with a ring similar as mine, but not just as powerful, he was one of the most worthiest foes and most dangerous of all time. Because of that, I was for sure that I would lose to somebody like him, but I didn't. Because you know why? I trusted those in my command, not just the people of Leonis, not just my allies from other nations as well, but I also trusted the visions in my ring as well. There are many of them, dozens, thousands of great heroes waiting on your command. And trust me, many of them are willing to serve you. Just wait for the opportunity. And soon, hearing this, Izuku saying, thanks, Mont. And, Stern, was it? Saying, yes. With Izuku closing the grimoire before then standing up and bowing his head saying, I promise. Within, the black-haired young man couldn't help but be shocked. Within, Izuku saying, I promise that I will be a worthy commander. Somebody worthy that all of you can look up to and count on for commands. And not only that, I promise I will be somebody that you can all rely on as well. In battle, too. I refuse to allow you all to do whatever I wish. Within, Stern couldn't help but smirk, saying, you're not wrong, brother. He is exactly like you. With Mont couldn't help but scratch his blonde locks. After that, Izuku began his training on how to use that of a sword from Mont and Stern. He would have asked help from that of, Eldoa, Jing, and Yame as well. However, let's just say Eldoa still will not listen to Izuku because until he is worthy of her command. Jing, on the other hand, is kind of would mainly tease Izuku. However, she may be a monk, but her fighting style was mostly made for killing after all. And Yan, she's a strong fighter, but not the kind of fighter that you need right about now, especially given that she is a Valkyrie after all. So the only ones that could help out Izuku is that of Mont and Stern, as out in the outskirts of Masafu's wooded areas. Mont begins to train Izuku in that of swordsmanship, the same way that he was trained by their father, former king of Leonis, Elda. Even though Elda was mainly known and famous for his magnificent spearmanship, he still found a way to also train that of Mont and Stern into using swords, given that those were the weapons that the two were more familiar with and were more talented as. Where Mont uses that of a regular broadsword style. Stern, on the other hand, always uses that of a great long sword, though. In a way, it was a way to compare on who was more gifted. Because of Mont being only able to use that of broadswords, people believed that he was considered to be the weakest, even though he was the elder brother. And as for Stern, People saw him to be that of the most talented and most skilled, even though he was the youngest twin. But their skills didn't mean nothing. It was only that Stern was just a lot more physically stronger, and Mont was skilled in his own right. There was no difference between either brother. That's all. With Izuku training using using one of the broadswords, finding out that the ring and grimoire has that of knowledge on each and every blade ever made by in the realm of Lapis, after all. But even so, it's still useful for his training and to continue improving as well. So he isn't going to look a gift horse in the mouth, as she's just using a regular broadsword just like that of Mont. As Stern is sitting on the side, but not just him alone, it also being that of Yarman as well. With soon, Stern could up and say, he's really sloppy. With looking at Izuku's techniques, as he's just swinging the sword and blocking it, and not really pushing a lot of power into his swings as well. With then Yarman saying, yes he is, your highness, but he does have passion behind his swings though. His footing is also pretty bad. I'm surprised that His Majesty hasn't taken advantage of it. With then Stern saying, this is a training exercise, and besides, Mont's too kind for his own good. He wants Izuku to get a better feel of using a sword. Even though we have been training for several weeks now, after all. With then soon Jing saying, well, what do you expect? With looking at the traveling monk of Horn, now turned spy for the Septium Church. With then saying, I've been looking around this entire world that we're in. It's completely different from the realm of Lapis. After all, this world is way more modern, has a lot more modern tech after all. Guns are seen more the norm. Plus, everybody has that of unique powers, different from that of magic and that of unique arts too. Seem to be genetic, actually. I'm actually quite interested in wondering on what's to come. With then soon, Stahl couldn't help but scoff, saying, we're aware. After all, this entire world is... Izuku told us on how this world works. We're in a world where humanity gain that of unique abilities. Basically, some with the abilities to use that of magic, but only a specific type of magic. Given that, it's not technically magic at all. Either to... even able to transform into certain things too. Making them look like that of monsters from our world. But even so, they still stand tall after all. Are all still humans, just looking different. Within Yorman saying, I would love to fight at least one of them. I would like to fight the strongest person. I believe the young master Izuku calls him All Might, if I believe. With then Stern saying, well, if you've seen Izuku's room, then yes, that's who he is. With then the red-haired Valkyrie couldn't help but look up, thinking a battle with him would be glorious. I would actually look forward to fighting against somebody of his immense strength and power. With then Jing saying, you Leonis dogs, some of you really do love to fight after all. With then soon Stern glaring at the assassin monk. With then she just scoffing, saying, well, whatever. Anyway, looks like the little man is still working pretty hard. But he's not going to get far if we don't teach him how to properly fight. With then soon Stern couldn't help but sigh, saying, as much as I don't want to agree with you, you're absolutely right, Jing. Looking back at his twin older brother and his new bearer of his family's ring. As the sparring session continues going on, within soon Izuku trying to deal that of a heavy downward slash. However, Mont basically feeling like it's time to finish this, basically hits a certain angle of the sword, and then it goes flying out of Izuku's hands. But then Izuku began to feel that of an immense numbness through his hands. Feeling the numbness, he couldn't help but feel the pain as he basically sits down on that of the dirty ground. With then, Stahl couldn't help but think, I think we need people to help him improve. Even though me and Mont have become strong, we had those teach us to become strong. Those as our mentors. Hopefully, our new ring bearer will basically be able to summon those capable of teaching him how to truly wield a blade properly. After saying this, soon Stern couldn't help but look at the messy greenette after all. With then soon telling Izuku this, both Stern and Mont, Izuku decides to use the ring again, but part of him doesn't even know on how he was even able to use the ring to summon them to begin with. With then soon Mont saying it's possible to summon them by that of pure raw emotion that's the strongest inside you. What is your strongest emotion right now? With then soon Izuku saying nervousness, but then Stern saying that's not an emotion, Izuku. What else? With then thinking want, hopes, desire, to not let you guys down, envy. With then soon both Stern and Mont look at each other, with then Mont saying, Izuku, do you feel like even though with us you still feel inadequate? With then Izuku actually couldn't help but look down at that, as even though after getting the Ring of Leonis, even after summoning the 5 of them, he still feels that he's unworthy of being able to summon them after weeks of having them with him. Since then, he was able to change his quirk from that of quirkless status to that of an emitter type quirk called Visions, to create entities and sentient beings that fight for him on his behalf. Basically, that of a sentient quirk that has multiple personalities. To the quirk doctors, it makes it feel like there's multiple characteristics to Izuku. Because of that, they kind of deem him to believe that he has that of multiple personality disorder, and to basically display that disorder through his quirk. Let's just say Izuku was not really happy about that and felt even more like society has basically kicked him over the head constantly. But even so, now since then, everybody that used to treat him like shit because he was quirkless now wants to get on his good graces because of his quirk. Even his teachers that basically belittled him now want to be nice to him and care for him. Hell, the only person that still hasn't changed one bit was Bakugo, as he still basically belittles Izuku on a daily, basically calls the incident of him awakening his quirk nothing but a fluke, that he's basically nothing without his quirk now, that now he has a quirk that basically does all the work, while everybody else, while those with real power such as himself basically had to sit on the sidelines and had to work 10 times more to shine after all. Because it was from the words of Bakugo, somebody that he still used to admire ever since they were kids. Well, you can already see on how much it still basically stings Izuku that even with a quirk, his childhood friend still belittles him over anything now. With then seeing the gloomy expression on Izuku's face, Mont couldn't help but place a shoulder on Izuku, with then Izuku looking up at Mont, as Mont is at least that of, 5 inches taller than Izuku after all, with then saying, Izuku, there's nothing wrong with feeling like you don't deserve this power. Like I told you, even me, who was the crown prince, believe I didn't deserve it. When those like Stern, who was the youngest brother and yet had more potential and talent than me, didn't get to earn this ring, didn't get to have it at all. But even so, I still kept moving forward. I still kept fighting on, trying to get stronger and stronger for not just my own squad and team, but for my kingdom, my family, for everyone that I hold dear. Nothing wrong with feeling like you don't deserve anything, any form of happiness. But for me, for you, you do deserve happiness. You deserve to achieve your dream, to work hard for it. So, if you want to summon, this is your time. Show what you can do. Prove to the Ring of Leonis that it didn't choose wrong. That you have the right to use that ring, to use our family ring however you see fit. Do you trust us? Within, Izuku nodded, saying, "Of course I trust you." Then do it. Show that you trust us by using the ring to summon once more. Within, soon removes his hands from Izuku's shoulders. As then, Izuku begins to feel the ring rumbling on his ring finger on his right hand. Within, soon, the grimoire behind him also begins to shine as well. Within, soon, Stern saying, "I don't think we should do this right here in your room right now." Within, soon, Izuku couldn't help but blink before realizing, "Oh crap, totally right." Within, soon, grabbing the grimoire and putting it in his backpack and saying, "There's a place I know that we can do this quietly, and it isn't in the forest. There are times when people do come up there as well." Then soon, both Mont and Stern began to fade into crystal before heading back into the ring. As Izuku heads out of his apartment and soon heads somewhere else in that of Masafu, as it being a certain beach that now turned into everyone's favorite illegal trash dump, Dagobah Beach. Then soon, Izuku couldn't help but feel somewhat annoyed at the fact of this, before then taking that of a deep sigh, realizing, well, nobody barely comes here. Hell, even heroes that barely patrol this area as well. Then Izuku looking at the ring, as then he can actually see that of the rainbow glow in his book bag. But then opening up as the grimoire soon flips open, is it being that of several pages. One page shows that of a quite mature and beautiful woman wearing that of a black dress that almost looks like that of a mix of thorns, as she wields that of a staff that's close to that of a thorn rose bush, with her blonde hair is tied up into that of buns, with that of several strands of her hair going down to her face as well, and above her being that of a red magical circle in the form of a rose. As for the other page, it being that of a old man that looks like in his early to mid 50s, with that of long silver hair, a beard, with that of a yukata covering the left side of his arm and shoulder, actually, alongside that of the lower half of his waist, also wearing that of golden yanagi pants and that of sandals, wielding that of a katana with that of a red sheath. The other being that of a silver-haired man that looks like in his late 20s to early 30s, as he's basically heavily armored into that of silver and red, silver's short spiky hair, and a massive shield with that of a sword in the shield as well, as he seems quite ready for battle at any time, at any place, as his attire seems close to that of a samurai, with a little bit of a mixture of medieval time garbs as well. Others begin to flicker through the pages as well, as it being that of a quite seductive but also a quite seductive but also fierce middle-aged woman, as she holds that of a white grayish spear in her hands. Not only that, her attire is that of a gray slash that of white cloak, with shows quite a bit of cleavage as well. As for the other one, he seems like that of a young man wearing that of a tight weared black and red outfit with that of wrappings around his right and left arm, as he's wrapped around that of waist-like robes, as you can see a bit of his black pants as well, with that of armored boots, as he has that of pure magic float, basically channeling through his left hand, as he has that of a fierce look of pure utter determination and rage on his face, after seeing the visions of those who most likely are the ones who are answering the call of the ring within soon, pointing the ring out, saying, "Please, come to my aid. Heroic visions from another world." With then soon saying that, five rainbow light crystals began to come out of the ring, as then soon the crystals began to shatter and take the form of the individuals from the grimoire, as being the one in the black dress, the one in the Japanese armor with that of the heavy shield, the Japanese old man with the katana, the young man with that of the type wearing garbs as well, and the seductive middle-aged woman with the spear. Within soon a few of the others that also began to erupt from the ring as well, as it being Mont and Stern, alongside that of Jing, and also Yerma, and even that of Eldoa as well, with then soon Stern and Mont saying, "Mother," with as they look at the woman in that of the black dress, with her saying, "My name is Helena. I am the Black Rose Witch, renowned for my cold-heartedness to my foes and enemies, and bring fear to all those who stand against Leonis. If you are the person who bears my kingdom's ring, then I let you know I serve you. But if I find out that you are against my own nation, then we will have problems, no matter what you order me." With then soon, Izuku couldn't help but actually shake after hearing that introduction. Within soon, Izuku wanted to say to Mont and Stern, "That's your mother?" Within both of them say, "Yeah, we're aware. We're pretty uneasy when she's like this too." As Mont says this, even Stern, who's more of a hard ass and barely feel and is a lot more, calm and sturdy, even though given his attitude after all, is actually shaking as well. Irma couldn't help but smirk, seeing her former queen standing right in front of her, and couldn't help but respect the strength that she shows as that of a feared mage of the Kingdom of Leonis. As for Jing, on the other hand, she basically sees that of a man that she does not want to see ever again. As the man in the armor, he soon speaks up, with him slamming his shield to the ground, with him soon looking at Izuku saying, "My name is Ingbert. I am the commander of Horn's 1st Division unit, known as Solace. I've come from a long line of knights who have served the Kingdom of Horn for generations. If you need for my shield and my blade, you'll have it. I serve you as your shield from now on, young wielder of the Ring of Visions." With then soon, Izuku couldn't help but admire seeing how strong and how powerful this man is. Almost seems like the very definition of a hero. Not have the same charisma as Izuku, but somewhat close to that of Yorimusha and possibly even that of Crust, but still can't help but respect this guy. As for Jing, she's saying, damn it, of all the people from Horn, had to be him. Ugh, just play it nice. I mean, we're both visions, so we're both probably already dead by now, so no need to basically freak out now. With then soon the other person that comes as it being that of the middle-aged woman with that of the spear, as she has that of the seductive look looking straight at Izuku and couldn't help but lick her lips, saying, well, you're the one who's summoned me as a vision. Let me introduce myself, little cutie. I am Victoria, a wandering dragoon who comes from who hails from the land of Wazet. Let's just say I prefer to take jobs where I can gain a big reward, with little work, to be honest. But push me too far, well, you'll see on why I'm a pretty strong dragoon, to be honest. If you wish for my blade, then you better make it worth my while, little summoner. As it goes from a, somewhat reassuring to a lot more seductive and flirty look to a more vicious and more threatening look. As Izuku basically felt so many emotions in just one little second. With Mon basically looking at Victoria saying, that woman again. I thought it, just looking at her caused me a lot of problems. Especially on Glacia as well. With then soon, the old man finally speaks up saying, I didn't expect to see both my former princes in front of me. Allow me to introduce myself properly. As soon placing his sword to the ground while kneeling, saying, my name is Own. I am a co-leader and swordsman of Leonis' Fortune Squad, and it is my honor to serve somebody who brings back my soul, or a fragment of who I used to be, to a new world. If you need of my blade, do not hesitate to call on me. But then Stern couldn't help but be shocked and surprised as he sees not just his former co-leader of his squad, but also his master, his teacher, right in front of him. As Stern couldn't help but have that of cavalcade of emotions, from that of joy, sadness, and frustration. The joy coming from seeing him again, sadness to know that he did die, and the last one because he died without even giving the chance to say goodbye to him. Well, then Izuku couldn't help but admire this old man, that the guy has quite a bit of charisma for being just a samurai after all. And then soon the last one, as the last one seems like that of a guy that seems at least that of the same, at least that of possibly at least 3 to 4 years older than Izuku, as he's crossing his arms and saying, are all you done? Good, I could finally introduce myself. The name is Garval. I have no affiliation to any country or any nation that these four are from, to be honest. If anything, I despise them all, especially the kingdom of Venice. As for I'm an invoker. My entire reasoning I can basically use hand-to-hand combat and magic at the exact same time. If you want my help, you get it. Just don't force me to do shit I don't like. That's it. But then Izuku couldn't help but feel nervous before then saying, yeah. With then soon, Garvel sees that of Eldoa, but then saying, you have that of a Fennis soldier here? The damn bitch Eldoa? With then soon, Izuku saying, wait, she's a vision just like me. With then saying, she's still a Fennis soldier. I bet you're still loyal to that damn nation of yours, aren't you? You damn Fennis lapdog bitch. With then soon, Eldoa couldn't help but growl, saying, what's it to you then? Just because you are basically a weak, pathetic slave, you think you have the right to bare your teeth at those who hail from Fennis? Just let you know that you are lucky to escape. Just don't expect that luck to continue going on even as a vision. Eldoa will crush you if you stand in my way. Within soon, Garvel couldn't help but growl in that of pure and adult rage and anger as dark magic begins to consume his hands. With then soon, Eldoa bringing out her massive greatsword, with then pointing it at the monk mage. With then soon, Izuku standing in between the both of them as the rest were about to step in just in case, with saying, "That's enough! Both of you, stop!" With then soon, Eldoa couldn't help but be shocked and surprised. With then soon, Garvel saying, I may not be able to hurt you, but I can still hurt the damn Venice bitch there. Stand aside, now. But then saying, I refuse. Saying, what? Saying, I don't know what issues you all have. You may hate people here. You may despise one another. I don't know what to say. Even if I look up your stories and look up what you've all been through, I can understand why you would feel that way. But even so, I don't want any of you to fight one another. It's not that I see you all as people who can just get over your issues that easily. I know that. It's unrealistic. But even so, I don't want any of you to fight. And if you fight each other, I'll stand in your way. I'll make sure that you all stop at once. Even if I don't have the power, even if I might get hurt, I'll still make sure to stop you all. No matter what. After all, it's my duty to look after each and every one of you, right? Even if you are serving me, I refuse to do anything that wouldn't help you through your issues. With then soon, all of them couldn't help but be shocked, except for Mont and Stern, as they could see that Izuku, even though he's timid, nervous, shy, and unworthy of the power that he has now, they could tell that he is a kind and caring person deep down. He cares about everyone's well-beings, even that of fragment visions like them as well. With then soon, Eldoa seeing the look on the person that has summoned her, as there is only one person that can basically make her feel that they can do anything, is that being her former king, Moraga, as she was extremely loyal to that man, the man that basically radiates power and strength. But now, right, she serves this boy, a boy that basically radiates none of that, none of the charisma, none of the power, none of the raw emotional anger and strength that makes up Fennec, that makes up the man that she once admired. And yet, this boy basically has the balls to stand up to her, thinks that he has the true power to stand up to her and her alone. Within, she couldn't help but smirk, saying, maybe he is something more, and that I wrote off a little bit too early. Within soon, she's saying, all right, fine. I'll listen what you got to say there, little green-haired dog. With Thid saying, if you want me to call you by your name, you still gotta earn my respect. Still haven't earned shit. Just because you got the will to stand behind that of two people with immense power doesn't mean shit if you can't back it up. Any rate, just as long as the two of us stay away from each other, that's all that matters. Eldoa will stay away from him, while he stays away from Eldoa. Simple as that. With then soon reverting back into a crystal and then shattering back into the ring. But then Garvel couldn't help but sigh, saying, can't believe I'm gonna have to deal with that of a Phoenix bitch. With then soon Victoria saying, oh my, issues already planning out? That's gonna be a hassle to deal with. So what do we have to work with now? And seeing that our little master thinks he has the right to stand tall others, even though he doesn't have the power, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what he's capable of. Within, Arbor couldn't help but look, saying, you don't seem to have that of the figure of a soldier, a warrior, and a fighter. What makes you think that you can stand up to those with power? Within, soon, Izuku looking down, saying, I don't. I'm not sure if I am worthy or not. But even so, I'm going to keep on trying. After all, I plan on becoming a hero. I want to become a hero. I want to save those and make them feel safe with a smile on my face to tell them that I am here to protect them, to help them, no matter what. With then looking the determination and conviction in his eyes, Ingberg couldn't help but smirk before nodding, saying, like I said before, if you need my aid, whenever you wish, my summoner, my shield and blade are yours. With then soon, as for Owen saying, I've already been summoned. Why argue? Why already go against destiny? If you're going to need a lot of training, and I'm guessing that their highnesses Mont and Stahl have been trying to help you, but doesn't seem like you've gotten that close to training as far. But then Izuku couldn't help but look down to the ground, as even Mont and Stahl couldn't help but feel somewhat embarrassed that they've been called out, especially Stahl from his former teacher. With then soon, Helen, on the other hand, couldn't help but look at Izuku saying, potential. With then soon, everybody's shocked. Within Mont saying, mother? With Stahl saying, what do you mean by potential? Within Helen saying, he has plenty of potential. He just hasn't awakened it just yet. For somebody to wield our nation's ring, to wield our family's ring, is that and yet he has none of our blood. It shows that he has quite the potential. He just needs effort to awaken it. Proper effort to awaken it. With then, she's saying, Izuku Midoriya, was it not? With then, Izuku saying, yes ma'am. With her, couldn't help but smile saying, be ease for now. I believe that the five of us can help you improve and awaken your true potential as a warrior worthy of wielding the Ring of Leonis. With then soon Owen saying, well, if Her Majesty believes that you can wield that you can wield that ring, then I'm 100% on board now. I already was, but now I'm truly excited to see. Within, Victoria saying, oh well, I'm a vision now, so I can't do whatever the hell I want like I normally do. So, I guess I can see what he can do as a dragoon. With then soon going to Izuku, placing a finger on his chin as looking straight at her eyes, saying, try to make it interesting for me, little cutie. If you don't, trust me, you'll regret it. I hate to do extra work without any benefit to it, so better make it worth my while, will you? With then, she couldn't help but have that of somewhat, bedroom eyes, to be honest, straight at Izuku. But then Izuku's entire face just went utterly and completely red from basically those words alone, and from the look too as well. With then soon, Garvo couldn't help but scratch the back of his head, but then saying, guess I got no choice. If anything, within soon looking at Izuku thinking, maybe being in this world is a good fresh new start, and being a vision of this boy could start anew for me. No more anger, no more frustration. Sure, there may be more finished visions, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. With then soon going to Izuku, as then he looks down at Izuku, especially given that they're somewhat the same, they're almost close to the same height, saying, Izuku Midoriya, right? Or do you just like to be called Izuku? Saying, Izuku is fine, saying, alright then, Izuku. From this day forward, whatever happens, do not regret it. You say you want to be responsible for us, that you want to prove that you earned our respect and loyalty, and prove that you can rely on you as well. Well, you better show it in the next couple of months or so. Because to me, even if you order me around, like I said, force me to do shit I don't like, and we're gonna have a problem here, even if I can't kill you to do so. But then Izuku couldn't help but gulp. Before then, Garble couldn't help but smile, saying, "Just don't let me down. All right, kid?" But then soon placing that of a hand on his shoulder before reverting back into a crystal and heading back into the ring as well. But then soon, Owen saying, "Well then, I'm guessing you have a sword?" But then Izuku saying, "Oh, right, I brought it with me actually." So with seeing that of the broadsword that he's been using to train with Mont, as Owen looks at the sword saying, "I'm guessing that is an antique sword, not really used for combat. Am I guessing right?" But then Izuku couldn't help but shake his head yes. But then soon Owen saying, "Now when I do, I'm guessing having that of swords of that were actually made for fighting is illegal." Saying, "Well, not technically illegal. It's just that we can't use them because it would cause quite a bit of a problem. In this day and age, heroes are the only ones that can use weapons as long as it's tied to their quirk after all." So within soon, Helen could up and say, "I see. So we should allow you to use weapons, but mainly we could use that of possibly you should be able to use that of magic as well." Within Izuku's eyes widening in shock, saying, "Wait, use magic?" But then soon Stern saying, "That was a possibility I was thinking of, to be honest. Seeing that he's not that good with swords, magic could be a good way for him to improve as well." Within Mont saying, "Yeah, unfortunately, me and Stern are not that good using magic. Good thing that you're here, Mother." Helen looks at her twin sons with that of a glare of somewhat scorn. Within both boys basically shudder in fear before it then soon glances back into that of Caring, saying, "That is my own fault. Your father wanted both of you to focus more on that of using that of a weapon and a blade to help you improve. However, I also wanted to help you use magic. But of course, my days as the Black Rose Witch were behind me. So I wasn't for sure if, given that I made an oath to your father to never use magic in the way that I used to. But now I am no longer the Queen of Leonis. Maybe in history books I am, but I am the Black Rose. It is my duty as that of a witch, and a practitioner of magic, to help those with talent bloom as well. So, Izuku, I hope you're ready, because we will awaken your true magic power." Within hearing this, Izuku couldn't help but gulp, and his legs began to shake. However, he having that of a confident smile on his face, saying, I'm ready. Teach me everything you all know. I promise, like I said, I won't let you all down." After saying those words, all of them couldn't help but smile at Izuku's conviction. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, what do you guys think? Sorry this wasn't a, action-packed part, to be honest. This was more of a setup part, to be fair. As, of course, the ones that Izuku summoned are powerful and iconic in their own right, but they're not really teachers. They wouldn't be able to train Izuku the way that they were trained, after all, as they had special, training situations, after all, especially Mont and Stern. So I figured, why not summon those who can train Izuku, who can help him improve in battle as well. So yeah, that's where these 5 Vision heroes come in. Even though Victoria is more of a villain or an anti-villain or anti-hero, as some people like to see it, she's still capable in her own right, after all. I think she should be able to train Izuku, but that's my own personal opinion. So yeah. At any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep update my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, and also my Patreon as well, alongside my Cash App too, all linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, and I hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, my lovely lady, you know what to do.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!